Hey everybody, Lee Povey, Maximise Your Potential here, and today I want to talk about a concept called bids for connection. And this is something that's dramatically improved my emotional relationships with my friends, my work relationships, and especially my romantic relationship with my wife. And BIDS Connections is something that was put forward by the Gottmans. They run an institute where they study relationships. And what they discovered was we're constantly making what they call a bid for a connection. So you might ask, what's this bid? What does it mean? Well, what it means is it can be anything. It can be verbal, non-verbal, it can be touch, it can be, it's basically us asking for intimacy, and it's asking for connection, and yet we go around that in many different ways, especially if it's quite vulnerable to say, hey, pay me attention, I really need connection right now. So we tend to be more subtle in the way that we do it. So let me give you an example. So you're at home, your partner comes home from work, and they walk in and they say to you, hey, how was your day? Now there's three ways that you can respond to this, and this is the bid for connection. How was your day is the bid for connection. So the first way is to turn away. So this would be just to ignore them. So they come in, they say, how was your day? And you just ignore them. The next response would be to turn against them. So they come in and they say, how was your day? And you say, why are you asking? You don't care. You've been out all day. You don't care about me. I'm not important to you. So you've recognized the bid for connection, but you turn towards it in a negative, argumentative way. And then the last one is to turn towards. So come home, how was your day? And you say, oh, it was great. And this is what I did. How was your day? And you have that intimate moment. You know, other examples can be your partner just wanting to hold your hand when you're going for a walk, or to give you a hug, or when you're settled up on the sofa, or say they're reading an email or something, or they get a text and they sigh or they shake their head. You can notice that and say, hey, what's going on right now? Or you can ignore it. So these things are happening continually, like sometimes hundreds of times a day in our relationships. And it's how we respond to them that has the biggest effect on how successful, loving, and satisfied that we feel in that relationship. And the Gottmans found that the most successful relationships, people respond positively to bids to connection. So they turn towards the other person more than 80% of the time. And this affects how long the relationship's going to last. It affects intimacy. It affects sex, and it affects how close you feel to each other. It also affects what happens in arguments. So the more that we turn towards our partner, when we actually have these big arguments, we're kinder to each other, and we can usually find more humor and compassion in the argument. And interestingly, they found that often it's not big arguments that end a relationship. Even things like infidelity, it's actually this, how we respond to bids for connection. And pretty much nobody can stay in a relationship where there is just no response to bids for connection. That's a really hard place to be. And as I said, this goes for everything. This goes for your children, this goes for your work colleagues, this goes for your friends. You know, if they send you a text and you ignore it, somewhere in their mind, the subconscious is adding that up, and they're hearing this person doesn't care about me, and they get frustrated. So those bids for connection, these bids for connection are so important as to how people see you and the intimacy that you're creating with them. So my challenge here is to think about, how do you go through the world? How do you respond to other people's bids for connection? And how are you aware of your own bids for connection? Could you be clearer with them? Are you too subtle? Are you hoping that somebody's a mind reader and picking up on your bids for connection? Or can you say, hey, I'd like some connection right now. Is there something we could do together? Here's what I'm looking for from you. And resentment is a really good way of noticing that. If you start to find yourself resenting your partner, there's a clue that there's something off in the bids for connection, and your bids aren't getting missed, their bids are getting missed. And there's that disconnect when you're both looking for intimacy. So I hope this is helpful. Write in the comments below what you think. Let us know. Check out our YouTube channel. Go subscribe there for these short videos on how to improve the way that you show up in the world and get a better experience from it. Thanks, everybody. Bye.